So, the other day, I was on my phone, on YouTube, and I was watching Claire from the VA Test Kitchen. Yes, you know Claire? So I was watching Claire try to make a gourmet version of a hot pocket. And if you've ever watched an episode of Gourmet Makes Before, then you sort of know how it goes. So she starts by trying the original food, which in this case was a hot pocket. She critiques it a little bit, and then she reads the ingredients list. And it's somewhere there, in between maltodextrin and imitation mozzarella, that I feel an impulse in my finger to lift it to the right side of the screen, double tap, and skip 10 seconds forward. Now, if you've ever used any sort of streaming platform before, be it Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, then I'd hazard a guess that when I say 10-second skip, you know what I'm talking about, and you've used it before. I myself use it all the time when I'm skipping back and forth through YouTube videos, when the two main characters in the Korean drama I'm watching are making eye contact for a little too long, or in that season of Friends where they decided to put Rachel and Joey together. The worst. I just sort of forget that you can actually scroll forward in the video, and I'm just hitting the 10-second skip button rapid fire until their faces disappear from the screen. So it's convenient, right? If it's boring, skip. If it's awkward, skip. If it's uncomfortable, skip. Well, this is also deceptively dangerous. Now, the first issue here, I think, is what technology and the digital age is doing to our attention span. An oft-cited study from Microsoft found that since the year 2000, our attention span, on average, has dropped from 12 seconds to 8 seconds. And a study by Yale hypothesized as to why this was so, correlating attention span to attentional distraction. In essence, the internet, with all of its media, visuals, audio, overwhelms the neural resources involved in keeping information in the visual working memory. Now, if these studies are scientifically sound, if they got it right, there is a very good chance that at this point, you are no longer listening to me. You have tuned out, you are wondering how this applies to you, and you're thinking, yeah, I used a 10-second skip. What's the big deal? If they really wanted to keep my attention, they should have just done a better job writing the show, right? Well, it only takes half a thought for us to skip 10 seconds forward. It took much more than a thought for a scriptwriter to craft that scene you're so easily glossing over. The danger in the skip is that it allows us to pay attention only to what we want to, filtering out the rest. When we are conditioned to think like this, important, salient issues can stare us right in the face and we can look right past them. And more often than not, we're skipping what makes us feel uncomfortable. I skip through Claire, reading the ingredients list, because if I hear her list out everything that goes into a hot pocket, I can no longer eat one in good conscience anymore. I skip through the couple making eyes at each other because there's just something too intimate about their gaze. And I skip over Rachel and Joey because there is just something wrong about that. We skip moments of silence, moments of violence, moments of sex, because those moments are uncomfortable for us to confront. But what we fail to realize is that if we could actually take the time to care, to understand what somebody is trying to communicate in that moment, there might be a lot we can learn from that. So here's the second issue. We don't get a 10-second skip in real life. I have this internship at a senator's office. And my first week on the job, I was in the copy room, scanning some documents in, when a caseworker walks by me and tells me, "You should smile more." Classic okay boomer moment, right? Except this wasn't a boomer, he was 30-something. And a couple days later, I'm sitting at the front desk, packing my stuff up, getting ready to head out for the weekend. And he asked me if I have any plans. No, it's not like that. In fact, I told him that I was going down to DC, most likely to a rally for National Period Day. So if you ever need anything to turn off a guy, tell him you're going to a National Period Day rally. But when he initially asked me if I have any plans, I could see the look in his face. And it's the look of someone who isn't asking you something because they're genuinely curious about what you're going to say. No, he has something he wants to say to me. So he says it. He says, your homework this weekend is to get a personality. What I'm about to say next is something I've heard many women say before, and I'm no different. We all think that we are going to be the one to quit back with some pithy remark, dripping in sarcasm and satire, cleverly criticizing Mr. Man, and tackling the patriarchy in one fell swoop. But I found myself silent. I could feel my face heating up. I remember pulling my hair down to cover my ears because I knew they were reddening. And if I had been watching my life play out on a screen, I most certainly would have skipped 10 seconds forward right then and there. But life is not a YouTube video. It's not a TV show. It's not a movie. It's not a Korean drama, as much as I would love my life to be one. In real life, we don't get the luxury of a 10-second skip. Instead, we have a conundrum. Do we essentially try to apply that skip to our real lives? Smile, laugh it off? Or do we seek to understand what about that moment is making us feel uncomfortable, and do we do something about it? At that moment, I'm pretty sure I did muster up a shaky smile, nervously tried to laugh it off, and then I got out of there as fast as I could. But when I came back a week later, that incident was still on my mind. It bothered me. I found that it characterized every encounter I had with everyone else working at the office. And especially that caseworker, I avoided him at every turn. In fact, I was scared to come in contact with him. So I did something about it, and it was very simple. A Google search. I found an op-ed. I read some essays. I spoke to a trusted mentor about this, and I found that I was not alone in my experience. That there is a double standard when it comes to women and professionalism. Women who are expected always to be warm and accommodating. Women who, when they fail to smile, are not serious and focused, but cold and impersonal. Ladies, I am speaking to you. If someone ever tells you that you should smile more, you don't smile back. You don't laugh it off. It's tempting, believe me, I know. But in that moment, you stay resolute. So how do these two things connect, right? Attention and facing what makes us feel uncomfortable. Well, I think it all comes back down to this notion of choice. Your attention is yours. It is a choice that you make, and it is a powerful one. Your experiences are yours too. And I think there's a choice there as well. Whether we'll brush off what makes us feel uncomfortable and let that crystallize eventually into fear, or whether we will seek to understand what's really at stake. And so to close, I want to talk about 2 ways that you can think about that choice you have. First, you can actively exercise that choice. The fact is that these social media platforms, the way that we consume Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, these platforms aren't designed to make us happier, better people. Now, I don't believe that Mark Zuckerberg and these corporations are inherently evil, or that the words social good are absent from their vocabularies. There is a very high probability that Mark Zuckerberg is in fact a lizard. But that is a different TED Talk. What I do believe is that these corporations want our attention, and they want our attention because it makes them money. It's what a good business model is. But if we can understand why they want our attention, then we can also understand that that choice shapes media depictions, dialogues, the representation of important issues. At the end of the day, it is up to you what you read, watch, listen to. And that's a choice you shouldn't just easily throw away. Now, not only can you actively exercise this choice, but we also need to practice it. The first time I watched the film, Lady Bird, which is excellent and I highly recommend, it was late at night, I was drowsy, I was skipping through the boring parts, and I eventually fell asleep. I woke up the next morning though, and I wanted to watch the film in its entirety. So this time, I put it up on TV. I practiced paying attention. I didn't skip at all. And I realized I had missed a very crucial scene that fundamentally changed the way I understood the film and its impact on me. So the protagonist, Christine, aka Lady Bird, is a senior at a Catholic private high school. And she sits down across from her college counselor, who also happens to be a nun, and they're discussing her college essay. So the nun says to Lady Bird, "It is clear that you love Sacramento." And at this, Lady Bird is genuinely taken aback. She despises her hometown, has always hated the suburbs, wanted to get away to the East Coast, to a big city like New York, the longest that she could remember. So Lady Bird replies, "I guess I pay attention." And the nun says to Lady Bird, "Don't you think they're the same thing? Love and attention?" And this struck a chord with me, which was truly ironic, given the fact that I had missed this scene previously in a lapse of attention. But what gives force to attention is love. It's the simple act of caring, the simple act of empathizing. These are human acts, and they are what we must practice as we go forth into a changing world, one in which the distance between our choices and realization of the human consequences is ever growing. And so this is what I challenge you to do: to care, to empathize, to seek to understand, to listen to what somebody is trying to tell you, no matter what form that takes, and to respond. To skip the 10-second skip. Thank you.